Hey, it's Thursday Night Barbecue Chat, everybody. Hi, Ryan. Well, you get yelled at me that I don't talk right away, so I talked right away.
Oh, man. This is what it's going to be like tonight, huh? Welcome in, everybody. It is Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. We are here back with another week of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat.
I got mine, too. I'll do it just because.
Yeah. Well, here, does that work for me? If I go like this, do I get enough of it out of the way if I... Yeah, I can't do it like that.
Nobody cares.
I know.
All right, everybody. It's Thursday. It's Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. It's another episode of exciting barbecue conversation and just about whatever else comes up. I am Steve Kress. I am with It's All About the Barbecue. And during the week, you can find me at Wanamaker's in lovely, beautiful downtown Downers Grove. And the man sitting next to me, as always, the chairman of the board, Barbecue Blackstone and Beer, Mr. Ryan Hooglin. I kind of like the salute a little bit.
Really? Hooglin?
I said Hooglin.
All these times.
I didn't say Hooglin. I said Hooglin, like Irish, like.
St. Patty's Day's over.
Yeah.
I mean,
Trisha's here.
But anyways, guys, welcome in. Welcome back for another episode of Thursday Night Barbecue Chat. We're so glad and thankful that you come back and see us every week, like our good buddy Richard C. that says, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Hey Richard, how are you, buddy?
Yes.
Yeah. So what we did, what was it, St. Patty's Day weekend? Was it last weekend, St. Patty's Day weekend?
Yes, Monday.
Yeah. So anyway, we did the barbecue love tour over there at Beach Avenue Barbecue, and as always, Ryan overindulged himself on food, and yes. So did I, yeah. And so did Trisha, and I think just a lot of people did. It was a good time. Juan put on a good show, as always. Some good corned beef. Those loaded fries were amazing. I don't know about you. And then that
fries were great. The bread pudding later at night, I heated that up, threw a little scoop of ice cream on it.
You want to know what happened, Ryan? You want to know a serious story? Serious story. I ordered Guinness cake and bread pudding. Okay, we ate some of the Guinness cake at the restaurant, and then Trisha said, "I'm going to finish it up because you ate a lot of it." And I said, "Okay," and we're bringing the bread pudding home. Guess what happened?
You dropped it, didn't you?
No, it was in the fridge waiting for me to eat it. And guess what? The day I went to go eat it, guess what?
It was gone.
It was all gone.
Well,
I said, what happened to the bread pudding? That was it. Well, you waited too long.
Yeah, when it's that good, you just can't let it sit, Steve. You got to take full advantage of it.
No,
We're going to take full advantage and give a little shout out to our sponsors, because without them, we wouldn't be doing this show right now. Well, we'd probably still be doing it, but we wouldn't be able to do it as well as we can with these.
We wouldn't have shirts.
Yes. So give it up for our sponsors.
Thank you so much, guys. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.
And not only those sponsors, I'm going to give it in there, but we've also just added in Smoky Woods and Melinda's Hot Sauce to our list. And next week's show, I will have their logos ready for.
Well, Ryan, is not only can everybody follow It's All About the Barbecue on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and what else is there? TikTok. I said, but Thursday Night Barbecue Chat, you can now follow on Spotify. And you know what I discovered on Spotify when we do the sponsor segment? If you're listening in your car, you don't know what the sponsors are. So we're going to go through the sponsors. We got Barbecue Bandits, the OG Bandits. I said Barbecue Bandits. I got it wrong right off the bat. I'm going to get fired. OG Bandits, sauces and rubs. Get them at your local supplier of barbecue supplies like Wanamaker's. Make sure it's kind of as local as you can get it. Otherwise, you can find them on Barbecue Pro Shop or probably at Barbecue Superstore. Then we got Marble Ridge Farms. That is where you can go and look on there. There is some great looking meat and everything that you can order. They'll ship it right to your house. There's a lot of them on there, Ryan. You want to do some of them? And then we got Wood Food Systems. They are distributors of Southern Pride Smokers. So if you're looking for anything Southern Pride, please reach out to woodfoodsystems.com. And then we have good old Scott over there with Spitfire Grills. It's an amazing little grill, by the way. And Steak Ager. And then, of course, David with our good friend over there at Melinda's. he was just on the show last week. So was it last week or 2 weeks ago?
That's still a little tender.
Yeah, it was last week.
So
get over there, get some. I've been eating the Melinda hot sauce since the show, and I can tell you right now, it is some of the best hot sauce. And I'm not even a hot sauce person. And of course, Smoky Woods, they do precision cut chunks, which is fantastic. Because if you're always trying to repeat a cook, all the chunks are the same size. But they also got splits, they got wood pellets, they got everything you need to get your smoking stuff taken care of. So
great stuff.
There you go. So this way, when you're listening on Spotify, you can now hear our sponsors.
Richard says I have a Melinda sampler pack.
Crack it open. This is the show to watch it.
Good stuff.
So anyway, Ryan,
video of Tone from Tiffy Barbecue that has part of the Honey Money wings. They just did some of those, and I really think I got to get me a Honey Money kit from Melinda's and do some wings with that because they look freaking amazing. So
yeah, so
go get some.
Oh wait,
stuff.
we got Bill's Meats is on. I got him on Instagram. He said, "Have you guys tried the sunshine sauce?" I don't know. I haven't. I haven't.
Have we tried the what?
Sunshine sauce.
Sunshine sauce.
I don't know if it's.
See, we're back to last week.
You can't even talk. So anyway, so we got some guests. So Chris Lytle was supposed to be our guest this week, and guess what? Chris was kind of like, "Hey, I'm yesterday's news. What about having this year's champion on as well?" And I said, "You know what? Hey, that's a pretty good idea." And guess what, Ryan? We're going to talk about the shed for a second again. When we were at the shed, guess who I ran into? Well, I ran into Riley, the steak princess. And we said hi. Well, she ended up winning. I'm going to get this wrong somehow, but she ended up winning the margarita or the Bloody Mary. Or whatever. She won something. Okay. So what does mom do a month later? Well, she goes out and she wins the SCA World Championship because God forbid she wasn't going to let her daughter be the only winner this year. So how do you think about that?
So who do we want to bring up first? I mean, I love to do them both at the same time. Like I can't do them both at the same time.
Bring up maybe we should bring up Chris, and then Chris can introduce the new champions. So kind of like he's handing over the
torch, passing of the
torch, right? Of title. Entitlement.
Chris, you're muted, Chris, so we can't hear you.
Chris, you're muted. You got to turn your. You
know how to put somebody under a little pressure, right?
Well, that's Steve.
So Chris, you won the award last year, so we figured, and it was very kind and generous of you to say, hey, what about this year's champion? And you were exactly right because last year is almost like a new tradition now. We always got to have the SCA champion on.
That's right. That's right.
So
and we got a good one this year. Everybody knows Riley. Everybody knows Steak Princess. And I remember Riley or Karen, neither one probably remember. I remember mine and Trish's, my wife's first cook, was in Tuscaloosa. And Riley and Karen and Russell were there. And I don't know if it was their first cook or not, but that's where we met. And she's just been a good kid from the time everybody met her. And she's grown up on us now, and Karen showed out this past weekend. It was awesome to see.
That's awesome.
Russell didn't do too bad either. He finaled in steak and ribs, and Karen finaled in steak and just showed everybody up with a perfect score. Do not forget, she had a perfect score. That is amazing.
She won the title with a perfect score?
Yes, she won the title with a perfect score.
We see her nodding her head. Can you guys see me right now? I'm having technical difficulties over here. I can only see Chris. My screen, my little square up here in the top corner is gone. Steve's blacked out.
You don't really want to see Steve anyway, do you?
No, I really don't. It works perfect, but I still hear him. It's like
I can see both of you
rolling around in my head. Yeah. I'm gonna refresh my screen here real quick. It's probably gonna kick me out, but I'll be right back.
That's all right. We'll start the show without you. So we'll wait for Ryan.
I hit it. They wanted me to reload, and I canceled it, and it popped the screens back. So we're good. I mean, it is always better. I mean, Chris. And sometimes you just got to do the show like this, But
that's right.
Are we ready to actually have Chris introduce the new champion, or are you?
Do we want to?
Go ahead, Chris.
Drum roll.
Your new 2024. world champion with a perfect score, Miss Karen Wright, Riley's mom.
Hey, how we doing?
Hi.
Let's give a good round of applause there. Good job. Welcome to the stage.
I didn't know it was I just saw that you won. I didn't know it was a perfect score. You're leaving no doubt. Like you were making it, slamming the door, and you were done.
I tried.
I tried.
Yes.
Look, she done so well, she wouldn't even let Russell in the picture.
He's watching from another room.
She kicked him out of the house.
Yeah.
You just go down the street and watch it over there. I don't want to hear you.
Well, it's our anniversary, so we got to stay in 2 separate rooms.
How many years of happiness?
26.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. That's a
happy anniversary. I mean,
commitment.
I tell everybody my wife and we're happily married as well. She's happy and I'm married. But
There you go.
You tell them that, or are you actually happily married, right? I mean, are you just telling people that, or
she's happy and I'm married? Yeah.
I see.
Come on.
Is that one of those dad jokes?
Get with the dad jokes, Steve.
Are you starting with the dad jokes again?
Do I ever? I'm a dad, so I have to, right? I mean, that's a responsibility of mine. It comes with the territory.
Yeah. So
yes.
Anyway, all right. What's happened? So, if anybody has any questions of all these great champions on here, and myself and Ryan, which probably more to the champions, but feel free to ask questions. That is always makes things a little more entertaining. Otherwise, you're gonna have to listen to me and Ryan talk a lot more, which nobody wants to hear Ryan anyway, but it makes me have to talk more.
Well, we will get in there. Before we get into all that, we got Lil Gringa is in the house.
There's Ray.
Mr. Wright.
Hey, Ray. Thank you.
One of our past guests on the show.
Ray's becoming one of our biggest viewers. God bless her.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
All right. So, who do we want to start with, Ryan? We got 2 champions here. You know what? Let's start with So, Karen, when you were going into this thing, did you think did you have a feeling like, yeah, this is going to be the day? Did you want to beat Riley because she wins too much? I mean, was it this is my weekend to shine. I'm just gonna beat everybody.
Well, I wasn't even going to cook. I signed up to cook on Wednesday and was planning to go to Michelle to say I wasn't cooking on Friday. Just a financial thing. And Russell's like, nope, we need to cook. All 3 of us, we qualified. Let's cook. So we went ahead and paid and cooked, and I was planning to cook a steak. And wow. I guess what a lot of people don't know, and even Russell forgot till we were talking about it after we got home. Last year, the year Chris won, I was DAL in my division.
Wow.
And I think if I remember correctly, it was either the very DAL or second to last lowest score of all groups. So
wow.
Came back with a little vengeance.
Expectations were not, quite there. I knew I turned in good steaks, but you just never know.
Well, yeah,
so. That's kind of neat. Ryan, you know a lot about Dead Ass Last, but I'm just wow. You can understand last year's type of thing. I mean, having cooked at the shed, I understand almost winning the championship.
Having cooked at the shed. You're one cook that you've done in the 5 years that I've known you, but I can say I've never had. There's times where I've seen the prizes for DAL.
You want to be DAL?
Huh?
I said sometimes you want to be DAL.
Yeah, right.
If you've never been DAL, you hadn't cooked enough.
Amen.
Because you're gonna be DAL.
Well, I've only cooked once, so I can understand I can understand the cooking. Hey, I'm just going into this just for the fun of it. So I understood that part of it. Yeah, we're gonna enter, we're gonna do it. No expectations. I wish I would have won, but you know what? I still had a good time. But that's a huge flip from Dead Ass Last to the. It just goes to show you, any given day can be a different day.
Any given steak.
Yes.
So then, Chris, let's go over to you, Mr. Defending Champion at the time. was there added pressure being the defending champion, or are you kind of just walking in like, you know, it's any given Saturday? And for me, a chance for me to repeat is like 1 in a million type of thing.
I was a lot more nervous last year going in before I ever won the World Championship than what I was this year. But I feel like I've grown in cooking, and you look at it as it's another 50 to 60 man contest in the prelims, and then if you make finals, it's another shed. You know, it's so obviously when you cook on the big stage, you got to have some kind of nerves because you're going for a win. Whether you've won a championship or not, you're going for a win. So you're going, you know, there's always that nerve. If you go out there not to win, then there's no reason to go, really. You know, I mean, that's in any competition. So, no, I didn't have any extra pressure on me. I had a lot of people come back and ask me if I was going to do it again and stuff like that, you know, and obviously you want to, but you cook your best and see what the judges tell you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought I should have finished higher at the shed, but you know,
you probably should have won it. I mean, the way you felt about your state, you probably should have won it.
Yeah, probably should have. You know, just
maybe
one more practice cook before that.
Yeah, I just having that one practice steak beforehand wasn't.
That would have been one more practice than you've done. So you know, but we got Rob Fleming in here coming in and says, "Hey Riley."
Hey Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Rob had a great weekend.
Yes, Rob did have a good weekend.
3rd in steak and 3rd in ribs in the finals. He had a great weekend.
Yep.
So Karen, what was on the winning steak? What was the seasoning combo?
I bet I can guess.
Me too.
Main rub, of course, was her Beauty and the Beef. So Steak Princess Beauty and the Beef. That's top layer. That's also my thumb grinder. Typically my thumb grinder. Yes. We use spicy white lightning. But on Saturday, my thumb grinder is typically just her Beauty and the Beef, but she thumb grinds with Midwest Dust and Thunder. And I got her thumb grinder by accident on Saturday. So when I realized it as soon as I started using it, so she ran, because we were in 2 different heats. So she ran in and fixed me a thumb grinder of beef. But like I told Alan on Sunday, I messed up on Saturday. So I went ahead and I took about 2 teaspoons of dust and 2 teaspoons of thunder and mixed it up with about 2 tablespoons of beef rub. And that was what was in the thumb grinder this time. So that was a change to what I normally cook with.
That's a pretty winning combination, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. So it worked well. We do a little bit different than a lot of people. I know a lot of people have started the process like we have, but beforehand we do Wicked Pig, but then we take it out of the Wicked Pig and we put it in Moo Magic. So we use a little bit of both, one to tenderize and one more to marinate.
Huh. Interesting. So that's it. From now on, that's the new tradition to win. You're gonna have to steal Riley's thumb grinder.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, and
superstitions hold true. You're just gonna have to.
And it's funny because our process for all 3 of us are identical. So when Russell and I both walked, we were shocked Riley didn't walk, just because. I mean, we cook tries, we pull at the same temperature, everything is identical. Except her and Russell thumb grind with Midwest Dust and Thunder, and I use just her beef rub. Look, my husband's fussing at me. He saying, "Don't tell everything." But yeah, I mean, it was just, she had a pretty steak on Saturday, so that was kind of, I think she got killed on
everything.
Oh, she said everything, but no,
I deleted scores actually. So I don't know.
She had a high taste score, but I think doneness and texture got her on Saturday. But blue group had a lot lower scores than green group had. So I think that made a difference too.
Yeah.
What group were you in, Chris? The high score or the low score group?
No, I was in the blue group. Actually, I think me and Riley were in the same group.
You were.
Who won? You or Riley?
I think Chris.
Probably Riley. I don't know.
Wait, where were you?
I don't remember. 20 something, I think.
Yeah, I was 30 something.
I drew chip 53 out of 54 people in our group. So I was at the back, and they split it odd and even. So I was the very last pick on the
53
odd
was
side.
my chip number Sunday.
So I don't look at that too much. I mean, it does make a little difference, and everybody has their own opinion on it. Some people say it matters. I kind of like being in the back because I can get two identical stakes, and I can try to practice with one. And I actually did practice with one at the World Championship, and it did absolutely nothing I wanted it to do. So my practice there was no reason for me to practice. So I was still guessing when it come time to turn one in for Saturday. But I was happy with it. It turned out it looked good. I hit my numbers, and I'm not mad. I'm super excited for Karen. Last year and this year. Last year it wasn't on the market. This year we put it up. We got it on the market. I used Southern Thunder last year. If you remember, we just got it on the market a week before the World Championship. This year we got Southern Thunder on the market just a couple weeks before, and we've been working with it for a while. So those two combinations are really good.
Well, for those of you that don't remember the show last year, I mean, you could probably go back and I don't know if you can find it anymore because we may have had to delete it. But Chris and the Boars Night Out boys kind of were giving hints of a new rub that would be coming out, and lo and behold, now it's the Texas Tornado just came out.
That's right.
Ryan, once again, the Thursday night barbecue chat was like the first to know of things that were
Some way, somehow, it just happens.
I don't think you were. I'm not sure if you were on.
I wasn't here for that one. No.
That was a collab. That's a collaboration between Mark Lambert's Texas Beef and Boars Night Out Double Garlic Butter.
Yeah.
Jamie Benson here says congratulations.
Thank you, Jamie.
Shannon Taylor Fleming says, "My princess and my queen, love y'all." I'm sitting there watching. Everybody's talking, and Riley's just got these little quirks in her face going.
Yeah, her facial expressions hide nothing.
I think she was more excited than Karen Sunday night, but it was awesome to see. I don't know if y'all watched it live or not, but to see Karen, Riley, and Russell on that stage, it was nice to see. It was awesome. That's what SCA. That's what cooking barbecue is all about. It's family, and that you can tell they're a tight family, and it was good to see.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get any kind of a ping or anything that anybody that SCA was going live or anybody was going live. So I actually just happened to be like, God, I haven't heard nothing on it, and just happened to flip through, and there were the three of them up there holding the check, and I'm like, hey, I know those guys.
Yeah, it was. The lighting was horrible. I know some people tried to go live, and a lot of people had issues. I think Naomi out of Australia, she went live and had a pretty good one because she was up front.
Okay, yeah, because you guys were at the race. Everything was at the Raceway Awards and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so last year the sound or something was bad last year watching the awards, and then this year it's the lighting. So one of these days they'll get all everything together and it'll come out perfect. We'll have to talk to the guys over there and see. It's like, hey, can't you get like sound and lighting perfection? So Karen, how did it feel to actually be walking up there instead of watching Riley do it?
I was shocked, honestly. It was a huge shock. I mean, I knew I'd turned in a good steak, but 63 other people turned in good steaks. Russell had a great steak. But it was funny because he had already turned in and was coming out of turn-ins when I was going in. And so I'd open my box to show him, and he was like, "That's a good steak." He was just, it was just full of juice. Riley helped me because the other quirk on it was the side I wanted for my appearance. I didn't like in the end, and so I called her over to look at that because I just wasn't sure. And she and I both agreed that the non-appearance side would be the appearance side, and Russell said we made the right call on that. But yeah, it was just it was a good steak all around. It trimmed well, even though it had a lot of fat. I trimmed a ton of fat lines out of it that would have been in the appearance. but it trimmed well, and then it cooked well. So.
What
And
was
you,
it?
you put the twine around your steak and everything when you're tying it up?
Yes. So I use twines and pins.
Okay. And you just don't tie it real tight, right, Steve?
No. Don't tie it real tight. I try not to. But
I found that out.
Yeah, it does expand and it does still curl sometimes. And it was funny because Riley helped Russell like with keeping time and things like that. So I had one of the kiddos we sponsor was Steak Princess Barbecue out of Pensacola. He was helping me, and it was nice because it was good eyes. It was, a fresh set of eyes on some things. And then I also had Charlie from B&B that was over there and talking. And so they kind of kept me, I guess, calm. It didn't really, get nervous or anxious about what I was doing, which I thought I would get more of while cooking.
What would when you guys were talking about changing the show side versus the other side? What did you see on it? I mean, obviously being a steak professional myself, I mean, I chose the perfect side right off the bat. But I mean, what did you see?
For those of you guys who are watching this later, Riley just like dipped out of the screen. I don't know. She just had to keel over laughing so hard on that. She's like, "Get me out of here for a second."
I barely made through saying that without laughing. But anyway, no. What did you see on it? Was it a fat pocket? Was it lines or sear lines that you already see? So what?
There was a small fat pocket that just where the grill marks were good, but they kind of expanded with that fat pocket. And so they just didn't look even. And it was just in one corner of the steak, which, it just depends on the judges. If they're going to nitpick, then you're going to get dinged for that. Right. The other side didn't have that. And, the lines looked good. They were straighter. So that's the side we went with.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that, just like if you're seeing a line in your grill mark and it's a little wider or something like that's how close it's got to be.
Yeah. And I probably wouldn't have been any other competition, maybe wouldn't have been as picky and would have left it and said, okay, yeah, I like this. But it was Worlds. So you want to make sure you're turning in,
right,
the best of the best.
Well, you're competing for that. I see that small little check behind you, though.
Yeah.
For those of you that are,
Did you take that to the bank and see if they cash it?
No, I didn't. I probably should have. Might have been easy for the other one.
I would.
Banks don't like those big checks.
You'd have to record that and just see what they say. I'd make a video out of it.
Sign the back and endorse it and hand it over. I want to cash this.
Or just pull up in the drive-through in a truck and be in the bed of the truck and be like, how do I put this through the machine and how do I get it through the tube?
Well, considering I have a bright green Jeep, they would have, they probably would have got a kick out of it with a green Jeep and a big check.
Yeah,
hanging out there. Yeah. So, Chris, what was your combo? I mean, obviously it's a lot of White Lightning and Southern Thunder and regular White Lightning and Midwest Dust and.
You nailed it.
Yep. Yep.
If I remember from with a little twist of what in there.
Texas Tornado.
There you go.
I mean, you nailed it. That's what I run. I run a all B&O White Lightning product, and that's what we do. Or that's what I do.
Right.
So nice.
So we got our good buddy Adam Sherwin down in Arizona. Says, "Good evening, everyone. How we doing, Adam?"
Hey, Adam. Good to see you. Good. Adam.
I did get a little package in the mail today that I'm gonna try on some ribs though.
What's that?
I think Riley may be having. She may be playing with some more seasonings. And
oh.
Yep, we get our sample tomorrow from the co-packer.
Oh, do we want to announce on here any new flavors coming out?
I might have threw you under the bus, Riley.
It's a sweet heat, so it's just like the Sweet Rapture, and it's got a little bit more heat to it.
Ooh,
it's what she has been winning with the past 2 years. I mean, that's how long it's been in the works, and been playing with it, and took it to the co-packer back in November, and he hadn't quite got the salt versus the heat correct, and so we're expecting our next sample tomorrow.
And she competes with the sweet heat?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and for barbecue. Not for steak, for barbecue.
Oh, and barbecue. I was going to say, wow, that'd be cool on a steak to have a sweet heat.
Yeah, barbecue and ancillaries. She has used it in ancillaries. It was on her dad's ribs this weekend.
Nice. So what do you?
The same things we always talk about in in barbecue and stuff like that. You say that'd be something good on a steak. I mean, is that something you'd ever try, or going outside of the realm of people turning in ribs with an Alabama white sauce instead of something regular?
Well, one time at Worlds, one of our friends mixed. This was like a long time ago. The seasonings were in bags, and he accidentally grabbed the sweet instead of the beef. And he put the sweet on his steak, and he had like the highest taste score he's ever gotten. So,
See?
I don't know.
Sometimes
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
So what do you look for? I mean, all three of you. I mean, I know what I looked for, which was I had no idea. But when you're going into looking for a steak, I mean, what were you looking for that weekend? I mean, first you just said you like where you were at, kind of, because you can get two of the same quality steaks. Obviously, if you go first, you get the pick of the litter, and then if you flip it around and you're last, and now you got to figure out which one's going to be your practice steak and which one's going to be your show steak. But what are you guys looking for in general in the steaks?
We all kind of go for tries. Now Russell's a little more pickier on which number of try he goes for. I'm looking for just 3 good muscles with the try. Even if it's a smaller one, as long as I know my fat lines are going to work out for appearance to where it's not too small. But all 3 of us try to go for a try instead of a spinalis steak. I like to me, it kind of tenderizes better too than the spinalis sometimes. So that's usually what we go for but too, I guess years ago, I couldn't tell you the last time we've done a practice steak at a comp. We cook one steak and we're done. So
that's what I was thinking too, Ryan, but I decided to do it.
Is that what that's your method too there, Steve?
Well, I mean, I did really well. I mean, I did my string on my practice steak, almost turned out the same as it did on my real steak. I mean, because I over tightened it both times because I didn't learn the first time, so I figured.
And you left it on and got DQ'd? Is that what happened?
No, I didn't leave it on, but the first one, the practice steak, the string popped off because it was on, and then you think I would have learned to maybe not do it as tight, but I did the same thing on the second one, and it almost popped off, but it didn't. So. And then I had
the strings are interesting. I think it was Chris was talking earlier about when he first met us. That was Riley's first comp in Tuscaloosa. Not Russell's first comp was before then, but and I wasn't cooking yet. But Scott and Caroline Guy were there.
Mm-hmm. Caroline won.
Mm-hmm. Caroline won, and actually, I think Riley and Scott tied. But Riley lost the tiebreaker.
Scott was 10th then because I was 11th.
Scott was 10th and Riley was 11th. But we were struggling with tying the steak. And it was Scott that said, "Here, watch this." And I don't think we've changed from how we've tied steak since. So it's really, it's helped us and it's worked for us. So.
No. Yeah, I keep forgetting that our streaming platform will bring everything in from Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that, but it won't bring any comments from Instagram. So I got Evan Werner 22 says hotty toddy, and then he says go Rebels, and then my buddy Big Country said congrats on the win.
Thank you.
No. So we got if anybody watched Riley's show way back when, and she had just gotten her letter from Ole Miss, and I've been following, and she's gotten some letters from other places. Have we gotten closer to the actual decision, or do we know? Is that going to be announced at the Riley graduation competition bash?
It is a good idea.
Right now, I'm like leaning towards Ole Miss. I was waitlisted at Georgia Tech, so I don't know what I'm doing yet. I kind of want to know because it is March. But, I still have, no idea, low-key.
Georgia Tech's just a good one, because we get in-state tuition and hope and
Right.
other things to where the majority of school would be paid for. But Ole Miss has been kind of bucket list since 7th or 8th grade.
I mean, you could do it like you do a baby reveal. I mean, you could have, like a big piñata at the Riley Mania Fest for your graduation, and see what color comes out of it or what jersey comes out of it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
If she thought there would be a jersey in it, she would go for Ole Miss because
we got Joe Christopher says congratulations.
thank you.
And from the Smoke Freak says congratulations as well. And hey, everyone.
And they won. I think he won first place in ribs.
Yep. Huge congratulations to Smoke Freak. They won first place ribs.
Yeah.
Well, that's our guess. Our guess next week will be the Smoke Freaks, because we're going to go from champion to champion, and we're going to have Brian and Ann on, and we're going to do that next week. We're going to have the Freakish on the show. So thanks for them for coming on. It's going to be a freak show
next week, but I'll make it. And then we got Johnny Cobia says they seem to cook super fast in Texas as well. Anyone else?
I mean,
I don't remember.
Riley says she don't remember, which Johnny made finals. So congratulations on making state finals, Johnny. I think mine cooked about normal. It may have came up to temp a little bit quicker, but it was usually we want it between 117 and 120 when I take it off to put it on the riser rack to come up to temp. And that's where it was when I pulled it off from getting my marks.
Yeah, big.
What temperature
on Instagram? He was down there as well too. He had won his ticket down there. But Richard C wants to know why string it.
Help keep the shape.
Nice, perfect little.
Yes.
Well,
unless you're
you got to be good at stringing it to have it keep its shape. But mine were strung, but unfortunately,
one exploded. A little too tight. That little guitar, they were strung a little too tight.
The plastic one, the practice one, the string popped off. The thing split in half. It was like the Titanic hitting an iceberg. But then the second one kind of flowed okay. So
and then we got Eddie Walker says, well-deserved champion.
Thank you, Eddie. He's the miracle man that pulled our trailer from Georgia to Texas, so we could fly.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Not that I like to fly, but I don't know if I'd like to drag a trailer. That's the only thing to me. I don't mind driving.
Trucks for that, Steve.
Well, Jesus, Ryan.
Come on, that's my dad joke. Nobody
nobody thought it was funny though. I mean, it's the problem. You're the only one laughing at these jokes.
You asked her earlier in the show if she felt good about her steak this weekend. They got somebody to drive the trailer. They got on an airplane, flew in, come out and won, and got on an airplane and flew out.
So maybe there was a little bit of a premonition that we're going to come in like a rock star and leave like a rock star and take.
That's right.
Well, it's limited vacation time for Russell.
Oh, going to come in.
Sounds to me like she called her shot from the jump. I'm flying in. I'm winning the championship. I'm flying out.
There you go.
Right, like prime time. Strolled right in, took the money and ran.
That's right.
Well,
yeah. Even Ann from the Smoke Freak says, "Good point, Chris." Yeah, see.
Oh, Riley would have much rather have driven out, but Russell just didn't have the vacation time.
Yeah, I know how that is.
It makes it look cooler that you won when you flew in. I mean, it makes it look cooler that you flew in and won and flew out.
Well, it does. Riley says, yeah.
Would have been better if he had a picture hanging out the pilot window with the big check.
With the check in the ring.
Yeah.
The ring right. The check was in the trailer.
Yeah. What was the temperature down there for cooking?
It was Saturday morning or Sunday morning. It was chilly, but
I was gonna say one day it was cool.
Yeah, Friday was a little. It was cool. Yeah, Saturday was cooler because Friday we had the dust storm and all the wind but it was kind of warm. But then Saturday it was a little cooler, and then Sunday was probably low 70s, late 60s, or yeah, low 70s.
Speaking of that Texas dust storm, did you see my post today, Ryan, on Facebook?
No, Steve, I was at this thing called work.
Oh yeah. Well, I was working too, but I posted. I came out yesterday. We had rain yesterday, and I went out to go home because I saw that there was a bigger band of storms coming, and I'm like, I'm going home because I don't want to drive in the storm. I got out and I put on my windshield wipers, and it was the dirtiest, muddiest water, and I'm like, what in the hell's going on? And then I looked at the hood of my car, and it was like I had just spent all day mudding, and I'm like, where did all this come from? And I didn't want to wait to look at other cars. And then lo and behold, I found out today that all that dirt was from that dust storm down in Texas. It had gotten sucked up into the everything, and it came down over here in rain.
Yeah, it was a dirty rain.
We got to experience the same dust storm, but just in different ways.
Yeah, well, it was nasty.
Horrible. The Jambo got nasty, filthy.
Yeah, it's awful. So, what do we got in comments there, Ryan? Catch us up a little bit.
Yeah. Michael Peterson's good evening, all. And then Ann says, we limped home with a broken leaf spring.
On the truck or the trailer? Anyway.
I'm assuming the trailer, but
I think it was the trailer.
Or where in Texas? Is it the Texas Motor Speedway?
Yes.
I say, yeah. That's
What did you?
That's my buddy.
Great venue.
Stupid ring light.
Great venue.
That's my buddy Daniel Anderson. Good friend of mine was down there as well too. He said he ended in about the middle of the pack, so he was just happy and excited to be there for the first time.
There you go.
Yeah, it was fun at the Speedway. No, Riley wasn't the biggest fan of it, but she doesn't like a lot of loud noises. So the cars running the track all day Saturday kind of drove her crazy. She spent a lot of time
in that. Did you guys get in that race car bus or whatever that thing was? Did you do it?
Riley rode the limo twice.
I don't like going fast, so I would have been happy to watch. How fast did it go?
It only went like 75 or 80 miles per hour, so it wasn't that bad.
Well, when it's wide open, though, you feel like you're going faster and you got tight turns.
I mean, I feel like the worst part was just when they like came back in. Like, it wasn't terrible going like on the sides or anything, but they would like stop at like the very top of one of the curves, and then they would like take off and like jerk it back in, and that freaked me out the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on?
It didn't freak her out too bad because she went right back and rode it again.
Yeah.
You just had to make sure.
You always got to try stuff twice.
Yes.
Yeah, the first time you don't know what you're looking for, and the second time you got to see if you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was a little freaked out. I got to make sure I was really freaked out.
Ian said it was the wolf wagon. The truck is also messed up too.
There you go. I like the wolf wagon. Anyway, so
yeah,
I've known the freaks for a long time. I shouldn't say a long time, for a while. And what a good group. They're a good barbecue family. I just have to say.
They were fun to watch. They cooked right behind us, so they were having fun.
I got an Instagram. AK Barbecue Man says, "Wow, some studs right there," and Ryan. So sorry, Ryan.
AK Barbecue.
I have a picture.
He's jealous of your beard, Ryan.
I know, that's what it is.
He's jealous of your beard. His is all gray.
I was hoping he was going to be on. Ryan, do you want me to send as a picture better to send to you on Messenger, or is it better to send on
Messenger?
Whatever. I just asked you, and then I was upset with your answer.
Right. I mean, how are you going to give me the choice and then get mad about the choice?
Well, because there's more work to send it on Messenger. But I got this. I had this picture that I wanted for the show tonight, and I wasn't sure if AK Barbecue Man was going to be on. But all right, Ryan, I sent it to you. But anyway, so Chris, what about you? Speedway? Would you do the Speedway, or you'd go back to the old stomping grounds?
Well, I mean, you know what happened last year, so I didn't mind Speedway, but I'd much rather have been at Will Rogers. And everybody was talking about how it didn't. Yeah, everybody talked about how it didn't rain. I kind of enjoyed the rain last year.
Yeah, right.
I didn't.
I kind of enjoyed
it. Well,
but no, Texas Motor Speedway was a really good venue. It was spread out. Nobody was on top of each other. Everything was asphalt, concrete. So if it did rain, your feet wouldn't be muddy and soaking wet. Mark Huntley decided to put his tent on top of the pit garage. That was pretty neat. I wish I had a picture of that. I'd show you. When the wind storm come up, it picked Mark Huntley's tent up, and it flipped about twice in the air and landed right on top of the garage upright. So all you seen was Mark Huntley. Yeah, it was neat. It was pretty cool.
Instead of the fact that it landed right back down. Did you get it, Ryan?
Went back down.
Do I have to show this?
Come on, it's just. I mean, it's a good picture of him.
All right.
Oh my goodness!
I saw that.
I mean, look at them legs.
I mean, it's good form.
That's all you sent me.
And that's it. I said it's good form. He had good form.
Oh, I thought you said, but there's more.
No, he's got good. He's got that one leg way up there. I couldn't get my leg that high. So maybe he was a Rockette in a different life. I don't know.
The New York Rockettes.
Yeah, look at it. See how far up that is? I couldn't. Yeah, that's a good. It's a good stretch. He must do yoga.
I see what you're excited about.
Well, anyway, it's an older person thing again. That's right.
No, I'm sure that was an amazing time down there. And, congrats to everybody for being down there. I mean, it's a feat to get there in itself, right?
Yeah,
right.
And it's a fun event. I mean, having people from all over, and second place finisher was from Japan, so which was really neat.
Probably nicer when you get to fly in, but
yeah.
See what happens when you Hollywood in, fly in.
Hollywood in.
Look, we can't go tonight without mentioning what all they did for Big Jim Hudgens. I think Big Jim was probably on your show some. Big Jim and Miss Susan, great people. He's done the world for Kids Q. I think him and Riley were big buddies helping with kids. Riley helps with kids. And I thought they paid really good tribute to Big Jim and Miss Susan all weekend. Melissa and Ronald Burns put together an auction that was just unbelievable for them. So can't go tonight without mentioning that. Don't want to take away from Karen, don't want to take away from Riley and Beauty and the Beast, but we got to mention what all they did for Big Jim. I thought that was very, very nice of them.
Yeah. I've never met him. I don't know if I'm sure I would have remembered him if I met him. I don't know if I ever met him, and I don't think he was on the show. But when he passed, just the amount. I guess your some of your legacy is all the people that you touch, and it was just amazing the amount and number of people that were sending condolences and not even just answering to people's pages, but actually were initially posting it themselves, and that just shows that he touched a lot of lives. So
his legacy will go on for a long time. He touched a lot of kids' lives. He in the SCA, I think he was getting involved in some more. A lot of kids' cues were put on by Big Jim and Miss Susan, where the kids didn't have to pay a dime.
Wow.
He's got Big Jim Hudgens rubs, and all the money that he made off of his rubs in the website, all that money went to paying for kids learning how to cook.
Yeah, and he was huge. They're actually Big Jim's is sponsoring the special needs kids queue that we're doing at Riley's Comp. So that will be sponsored by Big Jim and Susan. Talking to one of the young men that we sponsor out of Arkansas. He was blessed to qualify. He was 16, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's 16. He's cooking on a PK Go, and his mom's like, "Oh yeah, he won't ever get rid of that. Big Jim gave it to him for his 16th birthday."
Wow.
So, he definitely made an impact on a lot of the kids, and still doing that. That's the first thing Miss Susan said was, I want to sponsor the special needs kids queue. Big Jim, has a son with Down syndrome, and so we want to make sure that's taken care of.
Is that like a whole? That's the first time I've heard the special needs kids queue. I mean, obviously I've heard the kids queue. Is that Riley? Is that something you're starting, or is that, or has there been other ones? I'm not sure. I've never heard it.
I don't think there's been other ones. I kind of wanted to do it because mom works at a special needs clinic. She's like the office manager. And I've grown up going there ever since I can remember. And I've always worked with like all the kids there and everything. And I thought it would be cool to be able to get some of them involved and stuff. One of the girls from mom's work, I'm going to be helping her cook it that Friday night. But I just thought it'd be cool to get them involved because sometimes they don't always have those options to be able to do some things like this. So I just thought it'd be something cool to do.
No, I think that's a huge cool thing to do. And the reason why I say that is Trisha's son has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, and it's kind of neat because you're trying to find things to help them feel like they can be a part of, regular, and that's actually pretty cool. I applaud that a whole bunch. And if you can find a way to do something like that up in the Chicago area, that would be fantastic, because I'd like to get young Thomas into doing that, because I know he loves to eat cheeseburgers. So he can
bring him to Georgia in May.
Yeah, bring him to Georgia.
I wish I could go in May, but unfortunately that's the busiest time at the store, so I can't get anywhere in May, unfortunately. But
May is busy.
Yeah, it's going to be what we're wanting to do. Our goal for that one is, right now I've limited it to, I think, 15 kids, just until we know how many people we have signed up for Friday night, because we want the families to be able to just come in and say, here's your team you're cooking with, and that team have the rubs and the barbecue sauce, because they're cooking pork chops. And it may be to where whoever's helping them is doing 50% of the work, which is okay. And that's why we're trying to distinguish it too. It's just because, no, they're not going to be able to come out and do it 100% on their own. And then that way each team has kind of sponsored a family, and, they can show them how to do things, what to do. And then we did it on Friday night too, just because, again, they couldn't make all day for awards. So they don't have to get there till 4:00 or so, whenever Cook's meeting is, and then they're done by the time, all we're doing on Friday night is the 2 kids cooks and an ancillary.
That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Riley, you get a huge applause from me today for that, because that's probably one of the coolest things of the year so far, that I hope that spreads around to other cities and other towns and other stuff doing. Maybe you could talk to Brad and Brooke. Maybe next year at the shed they could do that at the shed. That'd be pretty cool. So, you got me all emotional. I'm actually kind of emotional because I think that's so cool.
I think it'll be fun. I'm going to start getting word out to some of our parents, and I think we've increased the age for that one to 16 or 18. I can't even remember, because that's, with it being something that's not SCA sanctioned, pretty much. It's an add-on for us and something we want to do. There's no charge for the special needs kids and their families, so they're just we just want them to come out and have fun. So she said a lot of them have grown up with her, so a lot of them know her.
Yeah, and for that's a huge thing for them, is just to be able to be around others and have a great time, and not be, obviously, Tommy's now into where he's in the wheelchair, and that's a big adjustment, and he's always concerned that people are always looking at the wheelchair, and he's just a normal kid, as from working with. They're all just normal kids. They just want to be normal and looked at as if they're just a normal person. And I think it's a really cool event. I wish I could get down there in May and bring him down there, because I think he'd have a good time seeing that. And I'd actually probably force him to actually participate. I'd actually do it with him.
Let me
come in last, Steve. Why would you want to wish that on?
We'd help them both.
Okay.
And it's only a workshop. It's not a
Chris will help us both.
You don't have to do it.
So yeah, no, I mean, that would be. I see what. All right, I gotta look and see when Riley's thing is and see. Well, anyway, I'll see.
May 30th and 31st.
Oh, that's the end of May.
Yeah, so it's the Friday, Saturday after Memorial Day.
She had to. Memphis in May is in the middle of May.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Well, okay. Well, that changes. I mean, the end of May is different than the beginning of May or middle of May.
Yeah, you have Memphis in May, and then we have, well, our friend, which we can't go to this year, which I hate. Our Randy and Brian have a huge comp down in Florida for cystic fibrosis and then the heart transplant that Randy had. So that's a huge one in Florida the weekend of Memorial Day. So that one was kind of out for us. And now she will be cooking the big comp in New York in June.
Wow.
So we were limited on weekends.
See, Chris, that's why they flew in on a jet and flew out like a jet, because Riley's cooking Broadway. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right.
And she's actually bit the bullet. Her and
me, Starla McDonald and Sabrina, who is Starla's teammate in barbecue up there, cooking it. So it's all female teenagers cooking the barbecue side. Everything but whole hog on Saturday.
They'll do all 4 meats.
Wow.
Okay. So,
Why not whole hog, Riley?
I'm okay. That's okay.
Well, considering we're having to borrow all cookers because she'll cook steak on Friday night, so we have to get cookers into New York. So,
Is she not like seeing the whole pig sitting there all like?
Oh no, I absolutely love it. I just I don't want to cook whole hog yet. I'm okay. I'll stick with like ribs and chicken and.
I feel the jitters coming up a little bit.
Oh,
No, good.
Her first Memphis in May, she cooked with the shed, and what do? They do whole hog.
Right.
She was like attached to the hip with Eric and Alan and Chris last year at South Haven, and while they were cooking whole hog. So she's been around enough people. She cooked with, well, the last year that Malcolm and Swine Life cooked whole hog at Memphis in May.
Wow.
She was there and watching, and which is, of course, a different view of cooking whole hog because they cooked it on that outlaw. So
yeah.
She has definitely seen it and watched it and learned a lot.
All right. It's almost time to step up and throw down the hog. Pick it up.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe
at the graduation festival you can the whole hog.
I don't. Maybe not that soon.
Did you see the eyes just go? What? Huh?
I'll tell you, her face hides nothing, y'all. Nothing.
No, not one bit.
No.
Yeah. So.
Oh man. Well.
All right, Ryan. What do you got? You got any more questions? Any more problems? Any more? At least you lightened up a little bit. You're kind of serious in the beginning.
That's before the show, Steve.
He was working.
Stuff's not working. It's just not working, right? But as soon as it hit that go live, it's Sylvester Stallone, and it's like a switch. Anybody? No. Chris got me a little.
Chris understood. I got it. I got the whole. Is that the arm wrestling movie?
Yeah, it's called Over the Top.
Yes.
Not that I've seen it. I haven't seen it.
It sounds like you watched
just parts of it. Hadn't watched the whole thing. Just seen parts of it.
Hawk and Son trucking.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys. So what's up next for all you guys? What Chris? Are you gonna relax a little bit, or are you running around doing stuff, or what do you?
I've got a catering company. I've got some caterings coming up. We've got Hawks for a Cause in New Orleans. That's a huge one. Pediatric. We raise money for pediatric brain cancer. We got that coming up in 2 weeks. Memphis in May is coming up. Springfest is coming up before Memphis in May. So, no, not really. No time to rest. I mean, we got some cook-offs coming up. We got a couple Rib Cook-Off Association cooks kind of in the area that I think we're going to try to hit while we're on our downtime, and then work our regular job too.
Well, you got to work the regular job if you're going to do the comp job.
That's exactly right.
I mean, until you get to the point where you're flying in for competitions and stuff.
When you get to the point where you can fly in and fly out and have somebody pull your trailer for you, that's when you know your rubs have made it on top, Riley.
Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
And last weekend Beauty and the Beef made it to the top.
That's all I've talked about lately. I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To start out at 14 years old with Rubs, and she's 18. How old are you, Riley? 18. It's awesome to see.
The Beauty and the Beef was one of the first ones. So
Yeah.
All right, there it is. And what about you guys? Karen, are you cooking anything, or is that you're retired now?
I'm retired. No.
Go out on top. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Very good idea.
Yeah. We focus so much on her. It's always hard to say. That's what Russell and I laughed because we went back and looked. And I think between the two of us, we may have done 10 or 12 competitions last year, just between me and Russell with state. But she's got, let's see, she's got prom this weekend. So there's no in Alabama. So
Riley, what's wrong with that?
saw that face, didn't you?
Yeah, I see the eyes come up. Oh.
So we got prom, and then April, there's a local comp. We're not sure if she'll do yet or not. That's just right down the road. But then she was voluntold. She is cooking chicken and ribs with P&L.
Okay.
At South Haven Springfest. So, as she said, she was voluntold. He told her this weekend because that's who we were with this weekend in Texas. And he said, "Yeah, you're coming to Springfest and you're going to help me with ancillaries and you're cooking my chicken and my MBN ribs." So,
Fair trade.
Well, we'll see what happens. After that,
You can tell me.
you want the cat out of the bag?
Yeah, it's okay. Just go ahead.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are we getting breaking news here on the show?
You're getting
well, some people know,
Yeah.
but it's not been posted yet. She was
I don't think we tell it. I don't think you tell it.
She was accepted into Memphis in May to cook backyard patio.
Oh,
Backyard
congratulations.
patio in May.
All right.
So
Are you nervous? Are you nervous about that? I mean, you kind of look like you're a little
I'm
nervous.
extremely nervous.
I mean, did you see her like sink down in there?
Yeah.
So we've got a busy, and then June will be the National Barbecue Fest in New York
And Pusaq.
and Pusaq. She was grand champ last year at Pusaq. It was in October last year, so she wants to go defend that title.
All right.
So
What's that? Oh, the yawns.
Yeah.
I saw him fighting not to actually do like a full-fledged yawn.
Almost hit the stop cam.
we're an hour ahead of y'all. Y'all got to stop this.
Oh, that's right. You guys are an hour ahead of us. That's
Yes.
right. Oh, all right. Well, it was great having you guys on. Congratulations to you, Karen. It was good seeing you, all three of you up there. I mean, I recognized Riley right away. Then I'm like, oh my God, did Mom and everybody won? I thought it was like everybody won, but it was just you. So
It was just me.
Yes, it was
just you. But yeah, congratulations to that. Chris, thanks for coming on again and spending time. And congratulations to last year's. And of course, I always put the dates in wrong because I always put the dates in as the champions. I forget that it's the 20. Yeah, I know. I put it for this year. So all this stuff is wrong, but that's okay. People will understand.
Who's counting? Don't know
We
what
put the 2025.
She's just a world champion. It doesn't matter what year. She's the world
It doesn't matter what year it is. Right.
forever a champion. If you look at the
That's
inside
right.
of that ring, it says forever a champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As he holds.
Hold the ring up.
That ring.
There it is.
There it is.
There it
Yay.
is.
Oh, hang on. Let's see it.
Well, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There it is. I think that would be cool. I still think that would be the coolest thing. But I'm not going to.
Oh, Sandy Brown comes in, says forever a champion.
There she is. Her and Tim both got the Legends Award for SCA this past weekend too. Got to give them a shout out for that. They're true legends. I mean, they're two of my mentors, no doubt. So they earned it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw them down at the shed, and yeah, I mean, you owned a points title for 3 or 4 years between the two of them. I mean, what more can you ask for?
And they also reach out and do a lot for the kids also. So it's that's one of the big things, especially with Riley and the SCA, is a lot of focus on the kids.
Well, I think, probably one of the coolest things is obviously they travel around doing all this. They compete against each other. There's a lot of tension and there's a lot of cooking and there's a lot. I mean, it's a lot of work and they still haven't beaten the heck out of each other yet. So obviously
They still like each other.
I like each other.
That's right.
I think that's all the fun in this.
It's love when you can survive 55,000 miles or 55,000 miles of traveling and
I bet you it's more than that.
200 competitions in a year and chasing points and trimming steaks and using toothpicks and tweezers and all this other stuff, and then one beats the other and the other one beats the other one, and then so God bless them both. They're both fantastic, nice people. So
yes, they are.
Oh yeah.
So all right, guys. Well, we'll let you go because we know I forgot about that. You guys are more in the
Riley ain't going to bed.
It's still early.
Well, I know Riley isn't going to bed, but I mean,
well, I'm not going.
Karen
to
ain't
sleep,
go. Karen ain't going to sleep. Karen probably ain't slept in 2 or 3 days, and it's probably going to take a couple more just to come down. Huh?
I know jet lag's a bitch.
Yeah.
She's getting in the Jeep and Riley's driving, and she's going to be standing out there with holding that dang check and driving around town one more time just so everybody can see it.
I really think
exactly
you guys should
right.
do that. Somebody just stand out there and just record while the other one pulls up in the Jeep holding the check and just go, how do we get this in the tube?
No, I just drive around. I'd be doing it. I mean, I'd have it like plastered all over I'd drive around town for like 3 days straight. Just to
Riley says I would do that.
Oh, guys, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. Congratulations to all of you as well. Again, Riley, good luck to everything with you got coming up. Memphis in May. That's a big, not to get you all nervous.
It's only Memphis in May.
It's only
It's only Memphis in May.
World champions, Memphis in May. It's like,
But see, Ryan, you have to understand
Can you warm up the jet for me? Yeah, thank you.
For you and I, it's world champions, nervous. I mean, for Riley, this is like these are like coworkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, But
yeah.
Anyway,
we're just here.
All right, guys, have a good night, and thank you again for being on. And we'll have to catch up maybe as we get closer to the Riley Fest down there for the graduation steak cook-off or something. So
yeah, once she's ready to do whole hog.
Ever do a live demo instruction.
Yeah.
So all right, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thank y'all, guys. Thank y'all for having me on.
Yep.
See ya.
Congratulations, Karen. Riley.
See you guys.
Man, another great show.
Another great show. What
Yeah.
can you do with these shows? You
You
can
know,
buy
I
a
just-
t-shirt.
The whole yes, the shirts, everything like that. Putting on the special needs kid queue, I think that's amazing. As my wife teaches with special ed children, so that's amazing. I love the idea. It's
I mean, you get it. So I mean, you get the. I mean, I live with it all the time, and it's that's a huge thing. That's really huge. I do have to say that. So I was getting a little choked up there a little bit because I thought that was kind of. The kids will have a blast. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So
Well, anyway, next week.
Hey, great.
So
Man.
next week.
Next week.
So next week. Week.
Your
No.
phone. What? 5 large Coke. Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
All right. So, anyways, next week. How?
I'm not gonna howl.
Oh, I did it for both of us.
Okay. But yes, the Smoke Freaks, Ryan and Ann Neal will be on here on the show. They are, I guess they're still considered hometown heroes, even though they moved across the border to Illinois East.
East.
East
Yeah.
Illinois. Over there into the great state of Indiana. Ann is actually the points champion for Indiana. That was one of the things. And then Brian won ribs over at the SCA World Championship. So We're going to talk ribs. We're going to talk and see what the freaks are doing. We're going to see who's winning the freak contest, because I know usually they have a contest to see who's winning more,
Who's got more?
or who actually won. So do that, and then I don't know who we got after that. Ryan, did I tell you?
No, you never do. Until I randomly see that you invite me to be a co-host.
Oh, yeah. You know that one we just put together. April 3rd. So we'll just do 2 shows out, because then sometimes people cancel on it. But April 3rd is Harry Sue will be joining us. We will be talking Easter dinner. So get your
My little bunny.
get your mind caps on, and start thinking about questions you may have about Easter ham and Easter dinner and dishes and side dishes, and just and what the heck, Harry's here, so you could just ask him about ribs and brisket and anything else you want too. But that's the focus is going to be on Easter dinner.
Yeah.
And you know, we did funny turkey hats, so you never know
Just gotta wait.
what you might get for Easter here on the old big show, the old big time.
Yeah.
We got a lot of reactions today, Ryan. Did you see all the reactions?
14 reactions. Right at the end there, we had 14 people watching at the end there. So
I know. And now that they're
more at the end too.
now that our world champion guests are gone, so are all the people.
Sorry, it happens. But thanks to everybody that's over on Instagram. Don't forget, make sure you guys check out all of our sponsors. And if you want to watch the show again, or if you missed a show and you want to go back and watch a show, check us out on Spotify.
It sounds like we're almost on the big time when you say it like that.
We're getting there.
Say it again. Say it again.
It again. Oh, you want me to
say the whole Spotify? I got a little chill when you said it.
I've been told I've got the voice for that.
No, I didn't. I'm not. I know you got the face for TV, but I mean,
I've got the face for radio. You mean? I mean, if you're gonna pop out the dad joke, you might as well get it right. You got the face for TV. God, you totally messed that one up. But guys, yeah, make sure you're following It's All About the Barbecue and Barbecue Blackstone and Beer. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and if you want to rewatch the show again, check us out on Spotify. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. It's not clicking. Why is it not clicking?
Bye. Bye.
I'm like stuck right now.
Bye.
I can't end the show. It's not letting me.
Bye.
I can't end it. Can you end it?
Thank you so much, guys. You've been absolutely amazing. Thank you. You guys are the best. Thank you so much.